Recording in progress.
Okay, let's get rocking and rolling. Heary, heary, heary. The Protection of Policy Committee meeting for April 24th, 2023 is hereby and forthwith in session. I will roll call. Is Alder Grant here?
Present.
Alder Morgan?
Present.
Alder Stevens?
Present.
And I, as acting chair, Alder Scannell, am present also, more or less. I'll take a motion to approve our agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alder Grant, seconded by Alder Morgan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are agendaized. I'll take a motion to approve our minutes from the April 10th, 2023 Policy Committee meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alder Grant, second by Alder Morgan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Our minutes are approved. Now, before we go any further, let me forthwith and hereby announce to all the land and everybody in the room and anybody who's listening that everything we do here is but a recommendation to council, which meets next Tuesday, 6 o'clock in the chambers right next door, where final approval will be given to everything done here today. On to regular business. Number 1, consideration with possible action on a change of agent for Scovin's Food Liner, Inc. at 2430 University Avenue to Sean Bessett. Staff?
Will please concur.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Alder Morgan, seconded by Alder Grant. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That change is unanimously approved. Item number 2, consideration with possible action on a change of agent at BBD Acquisitions LLC, Main Street Bourbon Room at 1279 Main Street to Christopher Bouncher.
No objection, sir.
Will please concur.
Motion to go.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alder Morgan to approve, seconded by Alder Grant. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That is approved unanimously. I can keep going, right? You're good? Okay, good. Number 3, consideration with possible action on a change of agent at the Woods Operations LLC at 530 Erie Road to Brittany Hutt. Legal?
So, law department's going to recommend denial of this change of agent based on past convictions. But I would also recommend I discussed with the clerk's office, maybe holding this item over because of that recommendation and notifying the individual or the licensee that we are going to recommend denial so they can be present. This person has, but we can talk about it if you want to just discuss it today, but if you want to hold it, I can save my list for the next meeting.
Right. I think, well, what does police have to say on this?
We concur with the law department.
Okay.
Your job is way too easy.
Motion to hold.
Motion to hold by Alder Grant,
Second.
seconded by Alder Morgan. Any discussion on this? I think it's only fair to give them an opportunity to appeal this, and staff is doing their job by making their recommendation. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, this item is held till our next meeting. We're not denying, we're holding.
You said aye, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
I think you said aye.
Item number 4, consideration with possible action on a change of agent at the Sam's East Inc. at 2470 West Mason Street to April Fowles. Legal?
No objection.
Will please concur.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alder Grant to approve, seconded by Alder Morgan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That motion is approved. Item number 5, consideration with possible action on a request by C Street Pub at 312 Cherry Street. Gee, where is that?
Oh, never been there.
To approve an outdoor area on May 6, to their parking lot for one-day event. Legal?
Defer to the PD for determination.
I reached out to the owner. He advised their crowd is normally an older crowd, not the younger crowd that we see on Washington Street. They originally had where they were gonna have music till 1 AM. I said that's a little too late. So they're gonna cut their DJ off at midnight. We believe they'll have more than adequate security and for the event, so we have no objection.
So would you say the cherry on the top is that they're gonna shut down at midnight?
Yes.
Okay, motion to approve?
Second.
Motion to approve by Alder Grant, second by Alder Morgan. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That passes unanimously. There's a Chicago delay. 6,
Different time zone.
consideration with possible action on a request by Blue Collar Bar and Grill at 1313 South Broadway to approve an outdoor area on May 21st to their parking lot for a one-day event. Legal?
I'm going to defer to PD for determination.
Once again, I reviewed their security plan. They are going to have adequate security. They understand the ramifications of making sure you don't serve the minors or let people in, so the police have no objection.
They should always never serve to minors though, right?
Correct.
That's correct.
Mountain climbers, yes. Minors, no.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Alder Grant to approve, seconded by Alder Morgan. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That is approved unanimously. Number 7, consideration with possible action on a request by, wait, didn't I just read that?
It's different.
Different date.
Oh, different date, okay. Consideration with possible action on request by Blue Collar Bar and Grill, well, anyway, at 1313 South Broadway to approve an outdoor area on June 17th to their parking lot for a one-day event.
Defer to the police department.
The police have no objections. Same things brought up in number 6.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion approved by Alder Grant, seconded by Alder Morgan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes unanimously. Number 8, consideration with possible action on request by Richard Craniums at 840 South Broadway to approve an outdoor area for various dates during the 2022-2023 license year, 30 days, and the 2023-2024 license year, 57 days. That's 87 days. That's, a year has more days than that, doesn't it?
The licensing year runs from July 1st
Ah.
to June 30th, and the Chapter 4 is when this new policy went into effect. So for this 2022-2023, it did start from...
Oh, it did say license year. I
Yeah. Oh, that's
didn't pay enough attention to what I was reading. Okay. Staff?
Defer to the PD.
I've worked with the owner, Don Meidel, he's also the head of the Tavern League. He always has very adequate security. We've had no issues here in the past, so the police have no issues with this.
Okay, motion to approve?
Second.
With the craniums there, it sounds like a no-brainer.
Oh,
Yeah.
could we just ask that the, for the 2023-2024 license year be subject to the approval of the renewal application at the May 16th council meeting?
Would
What
anyone
she said.
care? Okay, the motion is amended as follows. Alder Grant makes a motion to amend. Is there a second?
Second.
So the motion is amended and by Alder Grant, seconded by Alder Morgan. All in favor of the amendment, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion is amended. Motion to approve is amended.
Motion to approve? Say second.
Second.
Yep, motion by Alder Grant, seconded by Alder Morgan. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, that motion passes unanimously. We're still good? Okay. You'll flag me down if I'm,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Number 9, consideration with possible action on a change to the premises description for El Pastrocito Mexican Restaurant LLC at 741 Abrams Street, Suite 4, to include Suite 5. Sounds sweet to me. Staff?
No objections from the law department, refer to PD.
No objections from the PD.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alder Grant to approve, seconded by Alder Morgan. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That passes unanimously. Item number 10, consideration with possible action on a request by Ernesto Perez at 741 Abram Street, Suite 2, to extend their licensed premises to include the sales floor and storeroom in Suites 1 through 3. Staff?
No objection from the law department, refer to PD.
Police have no objection either.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion approved by Alder Grant, seconded by Alder Morgan. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously. Number 11, consideration with possible action on a original application for the 2022-2023 license year for a Class B liquor and Class B beer license for a Creamery DT LLC at 114 Pine Street with a licensed premises description as Sidewalk Cafe by Pine Street Courtyard outside front door whole building, with the approval of the proper authorities, currently licensed as Creamery LLC. Staff?
No objections from the law department.
Please concur.
Is this an extension of the creamery that was on Broadway?
No.
No, this is the one right under the overhang by the water feature, right by the city deck, right across from Broken Spoke Bike Shop.
It's a restaurant that came from the pier, expanded to Green Bay. It's a,
It was a cannery.
yeah, the Creamery on Broadway unfortunately went under. It was, yeah, not the same.
They've been there 4 or 5 years, I believe.
Something like that.
The creamery on the east side.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Alder Grant,
Second.
second by Alder Morgan. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously. Number 12, consideration with possible action on a renewal application for 2023-2024 license year for Creamery DT LLC at 114 Pine Street, pending the approval of the original liquor license at the May 2nd, 2023 Common Council meeting and with the approval of the proper authorities.
12.
Staff?
There's no objection.
Please concur.
Who are the proper authorities?
Inspections, and then it can also be DPW if there's a sidewalk cafe involved.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Alder Grant,
Second.
second by Alder Morgan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes unanimously. Number 13, consideration with possible action on an original application for the 2022-2023 license year, a Class A beer license for the Arvis Mini Mart LLC at 401 Mather Street with a licensed premise description as inside building near main register with the approval of the proper authorities, currently licensed as a Class A beer license for Terry Easy Go.
To defer to the PD on the recommendation for this one as it relates to the next agenda item as well.
The police we have no issue with the Class A beer license. The next item on there is the Class A liquor license. Being that it's right across the street from the NEW shelter, we would oppose having liquor being sold at that gas station.
Okay, we'll take that up shortly.
Yep,
Okay.
but we have no problem with the beer
Beer
license.
license. Oh, okey-doke, for this one,
Motion to approve.
motion to approve
Second.
by Alder Grant, seconded by Alder Morgan. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That motion passes unanimously. Number 14, consideration with possible action on request for a waiver to allow a Class A liquor license for Arvis Mini Mart LLC at 401 Mather Street to be granted within 300 feet of a hospital. Requires a majority approval vote from council. And staff, if we could.
We object to it. The NEW homeless shelter is considered a hospital facility. With it being that close right across the street, We don't think it would be a good place to serve or be able to sell hard liquor from, so based on the homeless population or the homeless shelter being right there, the police department would recommend not allowing that, the waiver.
Okay, and they don't sell hard liquor now, correct?
Correct. It currently sells Class A beer, so just beer.
Take exit 317 on the right. Or
What is that?
That is,
It's Alder
yeah,
Stevens
GPS.
navigation.
Oh. Are you actually driving there, Alder Stevens?
Yeah, can't you see him up there? He's fine.
Oh, yeah.
We muted him.
Okay.
He muted
Sorry.
We
himself.
muted him.
Let me see.
Well, what are your wishes?
I make a recommendation to deny this.
Motion to deny
Second.
by Alder Morgan, second by Alder Grant. They're allowed to appeal this, right, they can show up at council? They don't need to...
It wouldn't be an appeal yet. They can certainly come to council and speak on it if they'd like.
All in favor of denying this application, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, the motion is denied unanimously. Number 15, consideration with possible action on a location transfer of a liquor license for Ramis River Run. That's kind of fun. Ramis River Run. Rolls right off the tongue. LLC from 324 North Roosevelt Street to 1610 Cass Street with an intended opening date of May 1st, 2023. Staff?
Defer to PD.
The police have no objection. Spoke with the owner. It took a while to get their paperwork in, but our officers went out there and did the security and stipulation plan, and there's no issues at their new location.
So we can run with it?
Yes.
I saw what you did there. I heard what you did there.
Motion to
I
approve.
heard what you did there.
Motion to approve by Alder Grant, seconded by Alder Morgan. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That motion passes unanimously. Consideration with possible action on General Ordinance 1 through 23 relating to rules of council procedure. Shoot. Staff.
And just for clarification, it's 1-23. Just for, I think you said 1 through.
Yep. Oh, 1-20. Oh, yes, thank you.
You're fine.
I'm
You're
sorry.
fine.
1, yep.
Yep, absolutely. So this is rules of council procedure. This is specific to committee of the whole. So this is a language change that was requested by the law department, which just makes clear in the ordinance that a committee of the whole on the council agenda can take up a matter as a committee and make a final action or make a final determination at that meeting. So in practice, this would mean that an agenda item can be on the committee of the whole and be taken up at a later item on the agenda as council. So an item can be heard by the committee of the whole and take action by the council. So an item can be taken up in one meeting. This has been happening. This is just a cleanup to the language to make sure that the ordinance language follows the procedure.
So we technically should have everything go through a committee before council approves in this.
Yes, that is true, but council can also be a committee of the whole.
Great. So, okay, I didn't quite understand it, but now that you put it to me,
Yep, so the clarification is really that it can be a final action, meaning the item doesn't need to go back to the committee of the whole a second time, or doesn't need to go
Right.
to a committee. That committee of the whole stands in place of this committee as an example or a different one.
okay,
Motion to approve.
motion to approve by Alder Grant,
Second.
second by Alder Morgan.
Second.
Any discussion, questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That passes unanimously. Consideration with possible action on General Ordinance 2-23 relating to expiration of mayoral appointments to boards and commissions. Staff.
So the change here was requested, I think, also by the law department to clarify language that in a situation where a new mayor, not a mayor to a second term, but a new mayor is elected, that person may choose to appoint someone for the remainder of the term, or they may choose to not have that 6-month time frame. So there was some clarification before about the existing term, or there was clarification that's needed about existing term. So in this last election, as an example, if we would have had a new mayor as opposed to a mayor with a second term, that new mayor at the 6-month mark could either choose to no longer to terminate those appointments, basically, of those individuals, or reappoint. And this just makes that process clear that the person can, if they're reappointed, they only serve the remaining term. It's not a new term. And then if they're replaced, basically, it's again, just the remaining term, not a new term, because we need to keep up with those staggered terms.
So, within 6 months, they can be reappointed. And if they are reappointed, they're just finishing the term they're being reappointed to.
Yeah, the 6-month mark is an expiration, basically. They can either be reappointed or replaced.
Place.
But that either reappointment or replacement.
I'm sorry, I meant replace.
That's fine, reappointment or reappointment or replace, is just to fill that current term. It's not a new term or extension.
And is it any time within those 6 months?
No, if it's at the 6-month mark.
At the
that's
6-month mark.
expiration. I mean, obviously, if there's an intention to reappoint, it could be before that, but the 6-month point is an expiration, so if you're not reappointed by the 6-month mark, you would be considered
Grandfathered in?
out. Not grandfathered in, you'd be out.
You'd be
Out and replaced.
And
Yes. It would be a replacement. So
Okay.
either reappointed or replaced.
Okay. And if somebody's term is done before that 6 months, is that possible, the way they're staggered now?
I'm not sure about if it's possible that a term might be up, and if it would be, that would just be a situation where there'd be a new appointment, or they can choose to be reappointed, but it would be for a new term as
Right.
opposed to
Mhm.
a remainder.
Okay. I have any other questions or comments? Anybody else?
And for replacing, that can only be done at the 6-month mark. That can't be done sooner, correct?
Yes, the 6-month mark, it wouldn't allow for someone to be replaced after like 5 days, 2
Okay.
months. It's the 6-month mark for expiration.
Okay. Any questions?
Everybody jiggy? Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Alder Grant. Seconded by Alder Morgan. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That passes unanimously. Number 18, consideration with possible action on General Ordinance 7-23 relating to hotel registry. Staff?
Sure. Alder Grant, did you want to say anything before I just explain as one of the requesters? Up to you if you wanted to say anything about it.
I spoke to some law enforcement, and this was something that another municipality has done, and they thought it would be very beneficial to their job to help them with looking into things and stuff like that. And mostly it's just retaining records for 90 days, and yeah, a few other things, but if Lacey wants to dive in, or attorney, sorry, Coach wants to dive into that more. But yeah, just kind of to help with issues within our city, giving our officers the resources in order to do so.
This affects Airbnbs?
It does.
Okay.
Any
That's right.
hotel or
Yeah.
short-term rental, motel, hotel, or similar transient use. So as Alder Grant said, this requires that entity to maintain a record, name and address of the occupant or renter of that room for a 90-day period. It's not something that we have currently on the books, so there's not a requirement. So in a situation, they could either voluntarily provide that information to someone like Lieutenant Mahoney, or if Lieutenant Mahoney had a warrant, they would have to provide it to him. Anything you want to add?
Just that I know concern is that we would never use it for a fishing expedition. If we're investigating stuff, there's a reason. Some detectives have come to me recently with human trafficking, or if we know recently we had a person that we believe was on the sex offender list, and we thought they were staying at a hotel that there's lots of kids around because it's a water park. So it just makes it easier for us to confirm or investigate if someone is staying there, where they won't get rid of the records or not give them to. Most times, I believe the attorney said, we will have to get a warrant. One of the circuit courts or district courts said, we just can't arbitrarily go in and say, I want your hotel registry. We will have to get a warrant, which would mean we have to show the reason why we want
Just
the
cause.
registry. Yes.
And you also said it when we were kind of talking that it would be tracked as to who's asking and why, so this is something that would be logged and monitored so that there's no abuse in that power.
Correct. When we investigate anything, if we seek to get a warrant or seek to get that information, we document why that we're going there. It's, like you said, there's probable cause to do it, not just, we don't have the time nor the effort nor really care to just get hotel registries from everyone in the city on a weekly basis just to see who's staying in the hotels. It would not be used that way, and we have a lot of other safeguards. As Alder Morgan could probably tell you, we have safeguards in place that when we check someone's driving status or license plate status, all this stuff is logged. So it's not like an officer could go check up on an ex-spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. There are safeguards in place that if that does happen, that people will know about it. So I know that's a concern that we'll just start digging into stuff. Same with like the flock camera system that you alders approved. There are safeguards in place. If officers are using it, we have to document why.
Transient, so this would cover mobile homes?
Non-mobile homes, unless they're rented by the day or week.
Oh, they're transient.
It's about the person being transient, not the home itself.
Oh! Fine.
Make a motion to approve.
I second my own. Second.
Motion to approve by Alder Morgan, seconded by Alder Grant. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously. Are we still waiting for something about Airbnb, so regulating them or anything? Or was this it?
There are some short-term rental items in play, including some amendments to the short-term rental ordinance.
That'll be coming up.
It's a work in progress.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Informational. Number one, the liquor violation report.
During the last time frame from the last meeting, 2 municipal citations were issued and 2 written warnings. For the Marathon gas station at 610 East Walnut. Clerks do not have their bartender's license. We've been working with the owner of the gas station. I can tell you this isn't the first time they haven't had license, so we cited the owner and not the employee because the employee might not have realized they needed that. I can tell you 610 East Walnut is on our radar now, and we will probably be doing a lot more spot checks on them to make sure they always have a licensed bartender there.
Sounds good.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's,
Receive and place on file, sorry.
there we go.
Sorry.
No, good. You're fine. Motion to receive and place on file by Alder Grant.
Second.
Second by Alder Morgan. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? It is received and placed on file. Number 2, the clerk's office liquor licensing report.
Yes, thank you. There are no changes from last time, and the city of Green Bay has 0 available liquor licenses at this time.
Gosh, I don't know if that's, I don't remember if that's ever happened.
Not
Well,
this long.
not this, yeah, goodness.
Motion to receive and place on file.
Second.
Motion by Alder Grant, seconded by Alder Morgan. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is received and placed on file.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn Ed by Alder Grant,
Second.
seconded by Alder Morgan. I don't know, I think we have to wait for Alder Stevens to get here before we can leave. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.